Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I have got a project going today. We've got this big 4156 International here, and I put a set of batteries in it here. Going to try to get it started up. Anyway, what the project for the day is this Massey Ferguson 40 disc. My friend Scott needs it over at his place. All of that sod that he plowed up this year, he needs this disc to break up those big clumps of sod. Boy, this is a big old disc. It ought to do a good job of it. Anyway, there's a problem here we're going to have to try to overcome. These gangs are 16 feet, and so the way it's set up, it's about 17 feet wide, and it won't go down the road going to Scott's house and won't go through the gates. It's too wide. So anyway, what we're going to attempt to do here today, we'll pull these big heavy railroad weights off, and the only thing holding those gangs on are 4 bolts. So we're going to try pulling those bolts off, pulling those gangs off, putting them on a trailer, and then we'll just pull this apparatus down the road and then get through Scott's gates and put it back together. That's the intent to do here, so I don't know if we'll get it pulled off or not. Them bolts would be a handful to get broke loose, but we'll have to do that. So anyway, this International, I've got a tire that leaks air, and so I just put air in it and aired it up. But anyway, I leave it on a block here so it doesn't fall down when it's not being used and smash the tire. So hopefully, we had 8 degrees this morning. Hopefully this old girl will start. I think it probably will. It's starting to warm up with that sun is shining today. So that's what we're up to today. So the last time I had this running was late winter when the snow was starting to melt. It was parked over there where the sawmill is. And so I started it up and pulled it ahead here. But anyway, I've checked the transmission hydraulic oil and it drips just real slightly. I had to add a gallon to it, and checking the motor oil looks fine. So here's to hoping that it'll fire up in this cold morning. I think it will. Took a little bit of starter fluid, but I got it to go on this cold morning. if I can get those discs to lift. Okay, I'm going to try a new procedure here. My friend Robbie suggested we try this to break these big bolts loose. He says what you do is heat it up really good there, and then take a crayon and melt the crayon around, and supposedly when you heat it up there good, it'll draw that crayon in to lube it. So we're going to give it a try and see if it works. That's a lot of steel. It's going to be hard to get it warmed up. Got that crayon good and hot. In fact, I can see that crayon bubbling. I guess that's as hot as it takes. It worked.
Holy shit. I can't believe that. That is a hell of a trick.
We need to try and break the next one without doing this. See if it makes a difference.
Yeah. Well, you could almost do that with a ratcheting. You know.
Yeah, I'll go grab mine. So just as an experiment, we're going to try to break this one loose without any heat and crayon. I don't know if it was the crayon that helped there or the heat or the combination, but this one's just dry. Oh, it broke loose, all right.
So it's just fine. Huh. Shoot, thought we were onto something.
So we broke that other side loose without the heat, and it's really stiff, and so this side that we use the crayon on is coming way easier. This side that's dry is remaining. Remaining real hard, so that crayon was lubing it. So we're going to heat this up and put the crayon and see if it will be easier.
Wow, that's
What a difference.
well, you could throw the impact on that if we've got a,
Yeah, it'll probably come now with an impact.
I didn't bring a,
Okay, we are loaded and ready to roll down the road. Well, the next thing in this series, we'll be putting it back together. It's taken us quite a while to get things apart here, but we're going to pull it off.